What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and this is the UFC Vegas 16 weigh-in recap, full card predictions, as well as the updated betting preview. Let's get into the first fight of the night. Heavyweight matchup here. Jake Collier looking massive on the scale. He comes in about 264 and a half pounds, actually exactly 264 and a half pounds against Gian Villante. Villante, I will give him credit, has lost some weight, leaned out a bit since his last heavyweight fight, 243 for him. He looks a lot better at 243 than he did at 255. I think that's going to give him a lot more speed. He's going to have an advantage here. You can see him kind of looking at Jake Collier, maybe making some type of joke towards the weight gain. I'm curious why Jake Collier gained all this fat. I'm curious what happened. I'd love to get a chance to talk to him and find out why. Because at one point, this guy had a shredded six-pack and was fighting at 185 pounds. Now he's a heavyweight, and he's a chubby heavyweight. I'm genuinely curious what happened there. As far as what's going to happen, I'm riding Gian Villante. I think he'll get a stoppage here. I could see it within 3 rounds. I could see it probably in the third. I think it's going to be a volume of attack. I don't know if Jake Collier's gas tank will hold up. He definitely didn't look good in his last fight against Tom Aspinall. Granted, as I mentioned in the original prediction video, Tom Aspinall is a deadly striker and I think would knock out Gian Villante. But I'm riding Gian Villante, TKO, round number 3 here. As far as the betting odds go, Villante sitting at the favorite. He's at a minus 195. Jake Collier a plus 160. Pretty widespread, not super widespread though. I like Gian Villante here. I really do think he gets it done. I would say be cautious of a bet because it is the heavyweight division, and it's not like Gian Villante looked amazing against Maurice Green, and we know Jake Collier did not look good in his last heavyweight fight. But we're going to see what happens. I'm riding Gian Villante though. Next fight of the night, Damon Jackson comes in absolutely shredded to take on Ilia Topuria. Both men look really good on the scales, make weight. No issues for either of them. Height advantages to Jackson. He's very submission savvy off his back, but he's fighting a very high-level grappler, a guy with Greco-Roman wrestling background. Topuria is going to be too much. He's a really hot prospect. I'm high on the kid. He beat Yusuf Zalal, who I thought was definitely on the way to becoming, a top 20, top 15 guy. He dominated that fight. He was able to get the win on short notice. He gets a full camp now. He's fighting Damon Jackson. Ilia Topuria, unanimous decision victory. I'm very excited to see what he offers now off a full camp as well. Minus 255 favorite against Damon Jackson. It's Topuria for me. I'm high on this kid. I think we got to keep an eye on him. He's got a ton of potential. Only 23 years of age, so definitely somebody to watch. Next fight of the night, Cody Durden. He comes in with those sunglasses. He's taking on Jimmy Flick. Durden is coming down from bantamweight. Jimmy Flick has recently, he did on the Contender Series, fought at 125 pounds. I think that's an advantage here. He's used to making the weight more so than Durden as of recent. I personally think that Jimmy Flick's submission skills are going to be too much. Durden's very good wrestling, but if they get to the mat, the advantage is Jimmy Flick. On the feet, I think it's pretty close. I think Jimmy Flick may even have a slight advantage there as well. I'm riding Jimmy Flick. I think he'll get a submission in the second round. That is my prediction for this matchup. As far as the betting odds here for this fight, Durden's a plus 140 dog. Flick, the minus 170 favorite. I like the favorite, Jimmy Flick, in this matchup at the minus 170. I do think he's a pretty strong confidence pick here. Next fight of the night, Jordan Levitt takes on Matt Wyman. I am really pumped to see Levitt, another hot prospect on the card. Jimmy Flick, Jordan Levitt, and Ilia Topuria, 3 big fights in a row with up-and-coming guys that have a lot of potential. Debut for Jordan Levitt here, looked awesome on the Contender Series, quick submission. I think he gets another submission here. I think it could potentially be in the first round, maybe in the second. I think he's going to get Matt Wyman down and use his superior grappling. I don't think Wyman's going to have the defense for him. There's definitely going to be a very substantial gap, and especially the age difference now. Matt Wyman's definitely past his best days. He's past his prime. I'm riding Jordan Levitt submission. I'm going to say round number 1. Honestly, I could see it happening in the second. I could even potentially see him getting in the third, but I do think he does get the finish here. As far as betting odds for this fight, massive favorite. Jordan Levitt, minus 430 favorite. Matt Wyman, a plus 330 underdog. Jordan Levitt, he's the pick. Granted, it's a lot of money to put down if you are going to place a bet, but I would say he's a serious lock pick. I think the odds of an upset here are very slim. It would have to be a wild punch. It would have to be something crazy. I do not think Matt Wyman has the ability to beat Jordan Levitt skill for skill at all at this point, especially, you know, being a bit older. He's not in his prime anymore. And even in his prime, Jordan Levitt would have been a nightmarish matchup here. Next fight of the night. This one is going to be really fun. I'm excited to see Quiñones take on Luis Smoka here. Both guys in shape, looking good. I feel, honestly, that Luis Smoka and Quiñones are going to have a very entertaining fight. I will say Smoka definitely more of a pressure forward style, a guy that's going to sometimes leave himself exposed a bit to go for the attacks, whereas Quiñones more off the back foot, more movement. He's a little bit faster here. I do think that he's the better striker of the two as far as technique goes, but Luis Smoka is a gritty SOB. If you look, I mean, he's going to close distance. He's going to rip the body. He'll take one to give one, but I think Quiñones will outpoint him over the course of 3 rounds. If they get to the mat, I think it's competitive. Submission advantage, I will give Smoka. Wrestling, I think that Quiñones will be able to compete, and his submission defense will hold up here. I'm riding Jose Quiñones to beat Luis Smoka in this matchup. Unanimous decision, I would say, is my likely outcome here. Potentially could even see a split decision. I think it will be a very competitive fight. As far as the odds, Quiñones plus 110, Smoka minus 140. I like the underdog Quiñones in this matchup. I think he's a very good underdog pick on this card. But Luis Smoka, no walk in the park. This is no give me fight at all. Jose Quiñones is in for a big test here. Movsar Evloev. He is very exciting, unbeaten prospect. Nate Landwehr, former M1 fighter, a guy that has a pretty good record, 14-3, has been in there with some notable names at this point. He beat Darren Elkins after his debut loss to Herbert Burns where he was caught. Nate Landwehr is no joke. He's going to bring the fight to Movsar. It's going to have its competitive moments, but technically Movsar is superior. And his grappling is superior, and that is going to make the difference here. We saw Darren Elkins put Nate Landwehr on his back in that first round. Movsar Evloev is a level above that as far as his grappling goes, especially his youth as well. He's going to have the athleticism. He's not a guy that's going to need the knockout. He's a guy that's consistently going the distance, and that will play his advantage here. Unanimous decision win, Movsar Evloev. He's a very hot prospect to watch. Some serious hot prospects on this card. As far as betting odds, minus 630 favorite is Movsar Evloev over Nate Landwehr. I think the odds of an upset here are minuscule. I think that Movsar Evloev gets the win here. I think he does so by unanimous decision. I think he's a smart fighter. He's a high IQ as far as fighting goes, and he's not going to put himself out there and take any crazy risk. He's going to be able to dominate technically and get the win here over Nate Landwehr. But Nate Landwehr always game, and it could be definitely a competitive fight, but I just don't see him winning. Next fight of the night, John Allen takes on Roman Dolidze. Exciting light heavyweight battle. Both men in shape. Dolidze looking pretty jacked, to be honest with you. John Allen is no joke. He's got good Muay Thai, good grappling. He's tough. He's going to make it a fight. But Roman Dolidze, different level. Unbeaten. Somebody to keep an eye on. He's shown he can go the 3 rounds. Granted, he's never gone the distance, but he does have a 3rd round knockout win. The fight right before getting to the UFC. Fought notable names outside the octagon that were pretty strong in his organization. I am riding Roman Dolidze here. I think that the fight is no walk in the park. I think it's going to be competitive. I think that Dolidze is going to be in for a stern test, but definitely one that he needs if he plans on pushing forward more towards that top 15. I'm thinking stoppage victory in the 2nd round is fair. Could potentially see it going all 3, but Dolidze gets it done. I think he also does have the advantage as far as grappling goes. Pretty high level on the ground too. I am riding Roman Dolidze here. He is the favorite in this matchup. He's a minus 210 to John Allen at a plus 170. I like the favorite Dolidze here. I think he's a good pick, and I think he definitely gets it done, and probably in exciting fashion as well. Next fight, Talia Santos. She takes on Martina De La Rosa. De La Rosa, pretty solid skill set, good on the ground. As far as height goes, De La Rosa looks to be a bit taller. Explosiveness, striking skill, advantage Talia Santos. I'd say even in wrestling, she might have a slight advantage. As far as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, grappling skills, Martina De La Rosa, no joke on the ground. You have to be cautious. Watch out for an armbar. But I think Talia Santos will be smart. She should potentially have been unbeaten. The Mara Borello decision kind of just didn't go her way, even though a lot of people agree that she had won that fight. I am riding Talia Santos by a decision. I think it is competitive, but I think she gets it done. I think she's just a bit superior, especially on the feet. And as far as her grappling defense, she will be competent enough to defend the attacks of Martina De La Rosa. I have Talia Santos here winning this fight. Betting odds for this one, Not super, they're actually pretty widespread, more than I expected them to be. Minus 225 favorite is Santos. De La Rosa at a plus 185 underdog. With women's MMA, you never know, especially those arm bars from the guard. This seems to happen a fair amount of times. I would say the odds should be closer, but I do believe Talia Santos, the favorite, still gets it done, with that being said. Next fight of the night, Justin James, who came into the UFC and made a ton of noise in his debut. He takes on Gabriel Benitez. Benitez, fun guy to watch, really good striker. Justin James does have a good wrestling background. He is a wrestling coach, but he likes to strike, and he likes to use that wrestling after catching you with a big punch. He takes on Gabriel Benitez here, a guy that moves very well around the cage. I think Benitez will be very difficult to take down. I think it will be even harder to keep down if he does get him down. As far as the striking goes, I think Benitez will be able to win this fight by a decision. Justin James, though, will definitely have a chance to do some damage. You need to watch out for his overhands and especially his uppercuts. He's a guy that rushes in chaotically. He put Gavin Tucker down with a massive uppercut, and Gavin Tucker's a pretty exciting prospect. I still think Benitez, though, too technical. He gets the win here over Justin James by a decision in a fight that I am very looking forward to seeing. I think it could potentially be fight of the night for sure. It's going to be a crazy matchup. Betting odds in this fight here, Benitez a minus 225, Justin James a plus 185. A little bit surprised that the odds are not a little closer. I think they could have been, but that's what the odds makers see here. And for the over-under, it's a plus 100 for over 2.5 rounds, and it's a minus 130 for under 2.5 rounds. So kind of interesting there. They're not expecting it, or at least less likely than, to go to the distance, but I potentially do see it going all 3 rounds. Next fight of the night, Jamal Hill takes on Prue, who missed weight for the first time in his entire UFC career. I don't know what happened, why he would have missed weight. He came in at 207.5, so not substantially over, only 1.5 pounds, but still not a good look for Prue, a guy who's made weight with no issues. Granted, it's a one-time thing. I don't believe it would happen again. Maybe he's feeling that he wants to move up to heavyweight once again, which was unsuccessful in his first run. I don't know. For me, not a good look. He's taken on a hot prospect, undefeated, really good striker, a guy that's technical, massive straight punches tend to hurt OSP. I think that we're going to see Jamal Hill get it done. I'm predicting a decision, but I could also see him potentially stopping Prue. Prue, he's going to be throwing unorthodox strikes. I think Jamal Hill will be prepared for it, and I think he gets it done. I am riding Jamal Hill to get the win in this matchup in a fight that I think is going to be very fun to watch. I think it's going to be a back and forth and entertaining brawl, definitely, but with Jamal Hill coming through with the victory. Betting odds on this matchup currently, we see Prue, slight underdog, plus 150, or actually more than slight, fair underdog. Jamal Hill, minus 180. I have the favorite Jamal Hill getting it done. I was a little bit surprised to see the odds open up as widespread as they were, but Jamal Hill, I do believe he wins it here. He's very technical, and I like his style a lot. I have him. Next fight of the night, the main event of the evening. Marvin Vettori comes in looking like a savage on the scales. Jack Hermansson in excellent shape as well, jawing at each other a bit. This is going to be a hell of a fight. These guys have kind of been around the similar circuits. They both fought in Venator at the same time at one point. They were on the same card. Jack Hermansson was a Cage Warriors champion. Marvin Vettori was doing his thing over in Venator. I'm excited to see this fight. Two of the best outside of the USA talent. Definitely in the middleweight division, maybe in the UFC. Both guys very close to title shots with the victory. I am riding Jack Hermansson, though. I'm still thinking he gets it done. I'm thinking submission round 3. Could also potentially seeing it go all 3 rounds. Now, odds of a knockout here, I'd say, are very unlikely. Unless it would be a ground and pound TKO, or unless the opponent is fatigued. If one of them gets really tired. Jack Hermansson has proven he can go the distance. Marvin Vettori, inside the UFC, hasn't done those 5-round fights just yet. He gets the opportunity here. I'm very excited to see it. I think Jack Hermansson wins submission round 3, but Vettori is game, and this is not an easy matchup at all for either man. This is going to be one hell of a fight. As far as the betting odds, plus 110 for Jack Hermansson, Marvin Vettori at a minus 140. I have the underdog, Jack Hermansson. Super excited for this fight. I really believe this is one of those fights you do not want to miss. Do not sleep on this card. Overall, there's so much talent. There's going to be some excellent fights, without a doubt. And I think we finish it off with an awesome main event with some serious middleweight title implications here. But that is pretty much it for the full card predictions, weigh-in recap, and the betting preview. I appreciate all you guys for watching. If you guys are looking to play some bets, check out the MyBookie referral link in the description. Also, guys, like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. You guys can check out my social medias, Instagram, Twitter. Give me a follow there. And I will see you all in the next video.